Number 11. Media, communication, and fake news. B2. Do you believe modern media influences society strongly? Absolutely. Media shapes public opinion, political discussions, and even personal behavior. Nowadays, people receive enormous amounts of information every day through television, websites, and especially social media. Social media probably changed communication more than anything else. Definitely. Years ago, people used to rely mostly on newspapers and television channels. Now information spreads instantly through platforms such as Telegram, Instagram, TikTok, or X. That speed creates advantages and risks at the same time. Exactly. Important news can reach millions of people immediately, which is useful during emergencies or major world events. However, false information can also spread extremely quickly. Fake news has become a serious issue, hasn't it? Absolutely. Fake news has become one of the biggest problems in digital communication. Sometimes people share shocking stories emotionally without checking whether the information is accurate. Why do you think fake news spreads so easily? Mainly because emotional content attracts attention. Sensational headlines, fear, anger, or scandal usually generate more clicks than calm and balanced reporting. People often react before analyzing information critically. Exactly. Social media algorithms are designed to maximize engagement, not necessarily truth. If controversial content creates reactions, it will probably be promoted more actively. Do you trust traditional media more than social media? To some extent, yes. Professional journalism usually involves editors and fact-checking systems. However, traditional media can also be biased because political or economic interests sometimes influence reporting. So no source is completely neutral? Exactly. That's why people should compare information from multiple sources instead of blindly trusting one channel or influencer. What about communication online in general? Has it improved human interaction? In some ways, yes. Online communication allows people to stay connected globally. Friends, relatives, and colleagues can communicate instantly, regardless of distance. That's especially useful for international communication. Absolutely. Remote work, online education, and international friendships have become much easier because of digital communication tools. But face-to-face communication still feels different. Definitely. Messages online can easily be misunderstood because people cannot see body language or hear tone of voice. In addition, social media communication often becomes superficial. Some people spend more time online than in real conversations nowadays. Exactly. Constant notifications and digital distractions affect concentration and attention spans. Some individuals even struggle to communicate comfortably in real life because they have become used to interacting mainly online. How can people identify reliable information? First of all, they should check sources carefully. Reliable articles usually provide evidence, expert opinions, and clear references. Suspicious websites often use dramatic headlines without real proof. Fact-checking is becoming increasingly important. Absolutely. Before sharing information, people should verify whether several trustworthy sources report the same thing. If only one unknown website publishes a shocking story, it should probably be questioned. Artificial intelligence may complicate this problem even more. Definitely. AI-generated images, videos, and voices are becoming increasingly realistic. In the future, distinguishing real content from manipulated material could become much harder. Do governments have responsibility for controlling fake news? That's a difficult question. Some regulation is necessary because dangerous misinformation can create panic or manipulate elections. However, excessive control may threaten freedom of speech. So balance is essential again. Exactly. Society needs both freedom and responsibility. Citizens should also develop critical thinking skills instead of depending completely on authorities or algorithms. Do you personally spend much time consuming news? Not excessively. I usually read news online or follow certain channels, but I try to avoid endless scrolling because constant negative information can affect mental health. News overload can become exhausting. Absolutely. Modern media constantly competes for attention. As a result, dramatic stories are often exaggerated because fear and conflict attract more viewers. What advice would you give young people regarding media consumption? I'd advise them to remain skeptical and analytical. People should not believe everything immediately simply because it appears online or receives many likes. So, what is the biggest challenge of modern media, in your opinion? In my opinion, the biggest challenge is learning how to separate reliable information from manipulation. Technology gives society incredible access to knowledge, but without critical thinking, people may become confused, polarized, or easily manipulated by false narratives.